to speak about teaching with your mouth shut. And the reason I'm talking about this topic is because when we teach with our mouth shut, then we can collaborate with our students in creating culture and cultural knowledge. And that allows us to have data to collaborate with other teachers as teacher researchers and in teacher research communities. So I'll be following up on several of the ideas already expressed. I want to look at the new Common Core State Standards. I quite like the new Common Core State Standards. I've got critiques, but my critiques are about what they don't do, and I found that I can leverage the standards themselves to do the things that the standards don't talk about. And since it's in law in my state and 45 other states and DC and other territories, we can take the opportunity to leverage them. If you take a look at the standards, you'll notice that they're all about kids doing things. And obviously that implies what we have to do to assist and help the kids to do these things. If you look at the reading standards, which we have here, the first standard is read closely to determine what the text says. Everything else is about inferring and analyzing and taking a look at how meaning was constructed. Now, good teaching is modeling. I do it, you will watch me. And then mentoring, I'll do it and you'll help me. More mentoring, you do it and I help you. More mentoring, you do it together and I will continue helping you. And then finally monitoring, you'll do it independently and I will help and assess you. This is what Vygotskians call the gradual release of responsibility. And it's giving over the authority and the voice to the kids over time. Another way of thinking about this is for with by. I will do the work for you, I will do the work with you, and then you will be able to do the work by yourself. Now where's the power here? The power of learning resides at the juncture where we hand the authority over to the student. We've talked a lot about inquiry in this session. In cognitive science, inquiry is defined as the rigorous apprenticeship into disciplinary expertise, into doing the work of expert readers, writers, scientists, and mathematicians. I think the Common Core is best met through inquiry, and it helps us meet this very elegant idea from cognitive science called the correspondence concept, which simply means if we do a single activity with our kids, at the end of it, they better have something in their head that corresponds more closely to what an expert has in her head than they had at the beginning of the activity. Here's a small example of how I failed to meet the correspondence concept. For many years, I taught my kids don't split infinitives. I marked it off on their papers. Take down your favorite author, read 10 pages, she's splitting infinitives. It's a rule of Latin misapplied to English by test makers. Now, when we do inquiry, we're helping the kids to do what experts do. And we're helping them to frame what they're reading and writing as a problem to be solved. When I do Romeo and Juliet, I reframe it into what makes and breaks relationships. When we inquire, we have to listen to our students. What are they interested in? What compels them? What do they already know? And how can we bridge from that? What capacities do they need to develop? Now, this leads to another kind of inquiry and of listening, which we're calling teacher research. If we do not allow our students to do the work, to do observable forms of work each day, and if we do not explicitly ask students what works to assist them, then we have lost our best data source for teaching them. Teacher research is mostly about setting up conditions and mechanisms to learn from your students what they are learning, what challenges they are facing, how to assist them through the challenges. That is, what and how to best teach them next. This involves asking and listening. You can learn from your students how to best teach them by asking them explicitly about the issues that affect their learning, and to simply name what they understand and what they find challenging. So we have to create opportunities to listen to our kids and take the time to listen. Here are some quick formative assessments I use in my classroom. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Are you getting it or not? 5 fingers. 1, you're kind of getting it. 2, it's a little better. 5, you nailed it. Muddy Marty. What's something that's still confusing you? What's something you've nailed? Concentric circles. What did you learn today that you want to take forward? The next day, what's something new you've learned that you want to use on your final project? I have my kids do process analyses of their final papers. They tell me the story of what they did, why they did it that way, what worked and what didn't work. I learn more from these than I do from the papers themselves. By the way, these kinds of metacognitive reflections are required by the next generation of CCSS assessments, the Smarter, Balance, and PARC. Ask the kids on the short and long performance tasks to write a process analysis of what they did, why they did it that way, that kind of thing. Here's a daily lesson protocol which gives you inquiry at the lesson level. What's the purpose of what we're doing today? What's the process I'm going to provide to environmentally assist you to do it? How are we going to differentiate? What's the deliverable? The proof positive you learned and engaged today. This gets the students to do the work and allows me to teach with my mouth mostly shut. And the deliverable is that formative assessment. It's that data I can use to see what have they learned, what are they still struggling with, and it informs how I would teach tomorrow. It's the kind of stuff I can take to my teacher research meetings and PLCs, and it helps me work with other teachers to think about what is it that we need to do to teach the kids better tomorrow. Woohoo! I'm done. Very good. Yeah.